Welcome to day 18. Kind of picking up late today. It's 3:15 in the afternoon. Stayed overnight at Hostel of Maine, and it was a nice, interesting place to stay. A real pretty log lodge, pretty new, wasn't old. You can see behind me on the sign that I'm actually on top of another 4,000-foot mountain. Fortunately, today's climb was not too bad at all. I didn't struggle nearly like I did on the previous ones. Not because I'm that much better, but just simply it wasn't that steep. It was a more gradual climb, and I really appreciate that. I've got another one of these peaks yet to come, and not sure where today's going to end, but since I did get a shower and got to do laundry and eat a pizza last night, pizza was really good. It's one of those deals where when you're on the trail, food that you wouldn't even imagine eating at home tastes delicious. And there's been times in the past where when I've been hiking, I've eaten something on trail and I thought it was just magnificent, and tried the same thing at home and thought, why on earth would anybody eat this? But nonetheless, it's an enjoyable thing when you get something special like pizza. I think my scruff's still coming in pretty good. I'm healthy. I'm really excited. My legs and feet haven't hurt at all for a few days now, and just really enjoying it. Getting a step at a time. I'll take you and show you some of the trail a little bit later. Like I said the other day, it's kind of deceiving because the only trail I can video for you is trail that's smooth enough and level enough that I can hold the phone without the risk of bodily injury or damage to something else. But I'll try to cover what I can. So far, the top of this mountain is not very, no views. You can just see I'm surrounded by pine trees all the way around. But if there's a viewpoint, I'll stop and get a picture and go from there. Hey, I really want to say, first of all, thank you for taking the time to watch these videos. And the way the YouTube algorithm works is if you click that like button, it doesn't cost you anything. And if you click the subscribe button, what it does is it causes them to promote the videos that other people might get a chance to see them. I don't, at this point, don't make a dime out of any of this. I just enjoy getting to do it and share with you. And if you're enjoying it, please do click the like and subscribe buttons. I would appreciate it. God bless. So we start really late today. Not that I got on the trail late. I actually got on the trail just a little after 7 and have covered about 7 or so miles, which included a rainstorm, and got kind of thoroughly wet. And about the time that I was the most wet and cold, came across a lean-to and stopped there for lunch about 1 o'clock. It's now 3:40 and I'm on top of Lone Mountain. It says 3,280 feet, which is kind of ironic because that's lower than where I lived in Texas, but yet to climb up here is not that easy. Today's climbing, the first part of it was really hard and wore me out pretty good, but fortunately that was before the rain hit, and I didn't want to expose you to that since it's not very fun. I don't think I'd want to watch a video of hearing somebody breathe hard and complain and having to stop every few steps just because of the uphill, and some of it I even had to put my trekking poles on my pack and climb hand and foot. That was up today. I gotta say that in my considerations so far, up is really hard and I'm not really enjoying it yet. Down is hard, but it's the same as up, except I'm just not out of breath. And I'm going down here a little bit now, but I would really kind of count this as flat, which is what I enjoy the most. I think that's appropriate from somebody from the panhandle of Texas. I mean, you know, after all, that flat land is, I guess, in my blood. And that's what happens when I'm videoing and almost fell down. Didn't quite. I made it. That's okay. It's still, the ground is still very wet, and the rocks and roots are slick from the moisture of the rain. Again, for those of you in West Texas watching, that's when that really odd phenomenon of drops of water falls out of the sky. It happens here a lot more regularly than it does on the rare occasion in West Texas. Just a little bit showing you some of the trail and watching as it goes by. You can see off into the woods a lot of fallen trees and pretty moss and all kinds of stuff. If you pay real close attention, you'll see every once in a while a little animal or something. And we're just keeping on going down the trail. I'm planning on getting to a lean-to, another one to stay at tonight. I'm afraid that because of the wet weather, a lot of hikers kind of gravitate toward the lean-tos, that it'll be full. And there's a possibility that we're going to have some more rain this afternoon, but I don't know. I was at that lean-to and could have claimed a spot there, but it was only 1 o'clock and I'd only gone 7 miles, so I really felt like that I ought to continue on. Anyway, that's a lot of the goings on of today thus far. Downs and ups, downs and ups. I did want to explain to you maybe just a little bit more about some hiker terminology for the Appalachian Trail. I told you about northbounds that are referred to as no-bows, N-O-B-O, northbound, and southbound, you can probably guess, are so-bows. So I'm a so-bow through hiker, and that means in general that if you start in Georgia and end in Maine, all one direction, you're a no-bow through hiker. And if you start in Maine and end up in Georgia, you're a so-bow through hiker. And but there's an in-between category called a flip-flopper. And just because of the time of the year or schedules or stuff like that, some people, see, I'm kind of going down a pretty good little set of stepping through the rocks here and see what happens. Might get to witness another fall if I don't pay attention a little bit. Feel real fortunate today. I've had no real major falls. I've kind of just canted over a couple of times, but we need to keep it that way. I'm running out of skin. But the ones that start in the middle of the trail and head north, and then when they get to the north end, they go back and finish the south half, those are called flip-floppers. And there's no rules about which direction or where you have to start. And I've met 3 or 4 flip-floppers today, and some of them, most of them have already hiked over 1,000 miles. The neat thing is, I haven't seen the little sign yet, but it should be, I may have passed it, just didn't see it. I think right in here somewhere, I will have hiked 200 miles of the Appalachian Trail. And rough math, that's 1/11 of the trail. And so I feel like that's pretty good. I'm excited about that. My joy is a little bit less on the uphills, a little bit better on the downhills, and really high on the flats. And so I expect that probably will continue for a while. Again, thank you guys for watching, and I appreciate it. And so we begin day 20. You can see we're on the top of another peak that I just climbed up. It wasn't too bad. And kind of, I don't know if you can see, we're still up in the trees, but a little bit of view in the background. Last night was kind of interesting, or yesterday evening, I should say. Decided to make camp at a stealth spot by Sluice Brook Road. It was an old road that was flat, and was a good place to put a tent. I didn't have enough time or gas to go further, and so decided to make camp. And it was about 5:30. Got my tent set up, and there's me and in shadow and a blaze, and looking down off what I'm about to have to go down. But downs I like a little better than ups. Seem to fall more on downs, but that's okay. So about 7 o'clock, I was just getting camp finished ready. My tent was set up, and it started raining, and it came down really fast and pretty hard. I jumped in my tent real fast, and before I knew it, I felt water inside my tent. I got to looking, and one of the edges was folded in, and which meant one of my guy lines was not tight enough on the outside. There's no way to tighten the guy line from the inside of the tent, so I had to get back out and work on that. By that time, I had probably half a gallon of water inside my tent, and everything was soaked. But it all worked out, and I got it all straightened out and ended up sleeping and getting up this morning with half my stuff kind of wet. Kind of wet is really not the way to put it. It was real wet. Not soaked, not sopped. I'd kept my sleeping quilt in a waterproof bag, and so it was okay. And then it had dripped down and dried up enough by the time that I got cold in the night to get the quilt out and get warm. So it was okay. Everything's good. Just a part of the trail, I guess. So we're just hiking today. Not sure exactly where I'm going to stop. Looking forward to some stuff, but I've got another pretty good sized mountain to climb today. So about 10:30, I get to Poplar Ridge Lean-To. I'll take just a quick break here, and thought I'd take a minute to show you around. There's my pack sitting there resting, my hiking poles and my water bottles. This is pretty much a typical lean-to. Some of these were built almost 100 years ago, and I'll get a little closer and so you can see what on the inside it looks like. You can see the inside of the shelter or lean-to is just a big platform where people lay their sleeping mats and sleeping pads. And then across the front is this bar, and somebody said it's to keep moose out, but I don't know. It's just the design of the lean-tos.